Hello, and welcome back to the Druidic Stormcloud channel, where today we'll be playing some Final Fantasy XIV. I haven't been able to get my item level up just yet to where I could go through the main story quest. It's proving to be quite a grind. But remember that poll that was up a while back as to what job quest line I should go for next? That's right, I'm going to be doing the Archer and Bard quest line. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. We need to randomize our minions. Little baby chocobo. That's suitable for an archer quest. We're going to be completing all of the archer and bard quest line up to the level 50 quests. Alright. Ethernet. Archers Guild. Alright. Alright. Ah, yes, the bow becomes you, Kiara. Now, before you proceeding any further, I must needs gauge your innate aptitude for archery. To this end, I hereby assign you the following trial. Slay the squirrels, ladybugs, and fungars that roam just beyond the city gates. 3 of each should suffice. Yes, this is the downside to doing this. In doing so, you'll prove your fitness to join the Archers Guild. It goes without saying that you must do so using your bow. Report back to me when the task is accomplished. Go now, Kiara, and earn your place within these halls. Alright. And this suit of armor is glamored. Alright, Central Shroud. And also, I'm going to move my PNG over to here to sort of block out the chat that I realize is still there. Now I need to find Fungars. Once I find Fungars, there they are. Okay. Alright. That it's done. And we can just leave these aggroed ones alone as we rush back. The unfortunate thing is, in doing so, we were not able to use our mount, and at this point it's kind of pointless. We're just right there. Now, I'm thinking that if I still feel up for streaming after completing the Bard quest lines, then I might just do the Black Mage quest lines as well. And then I have all of the currently available mage classes as jobs. And Bard. And the tanks. Welcome back, Kiara. It would seem you have successfully completed the trial. You have proven yourself worthy of a place within these halls. It is with pleasure that I name you an Archer of the Guild. As fellows of the path, let us together strive for greater mastery of our art. Now, though you may be a member of the Archers Guild, know that your seniors will not coddle you with personal attention. It is up to you to seek out the experiences you need to grow as an archer. By way of the first step, I encourage you to practice proper technique. Loose your arrow, or loose arrow after arrow, paying close attention to form until the movement becomes second nature. Then, drawing your bowstring has become as, or when drawing your bowstring has become as natural as drawing breath, and the world seems clearer when viewed down the shaft of an arrow. Return to me. Go well, my young apprentice. Good evening to you, Kiara. I felt it was about time you returned. Have you grown more accustomed to the bow? Before we go any further, I wish to ensure that you have grasped the fundamental essence of archery. Tell me, Kiara, do you truly understand what it means to see clearly? To see clearly is not merely to look. It is to observe with intent. Fail to do this, and no amount of talent with a bow will avail you. An archer must remain vigilant for any trace of his target, overlooking not the smallest detail, lest it prove crucial to the realization of his purpose. He must, in short, see clearly. The coming task will test your prowess of observation. A number of targets have been hidden throughout the city. I would have you seek out and destroy them. Each will fall easily to your heavy shot technique. When you have completed the task, return to me and we will continue. Well, then this is going to be interesting. A seek out mission, because archer. Alright, heavy shot. Alright, there was one. None more here, it would seem. So we must keep an eye out. There's one. Alright. That's 2 of 6. We don't know if they are all in this area or if they are all spread throughout both areas. But if it's 2 of 6 and there are 2 in each of the circles, they should all be in this area. Alright, 3 of 6. Alright, that seems to be the case. Okay. There might be another one down this way, it seems. Yep. It's 4, 5 of 6, which means 1 left, which is up here. In this area somewhere. I wonder where it could be. Wait a minute. There's more than 6 of these. Interesting. Okay. That was surprisingly easy. Ah, you have returned. I trust you have begun to comprehend the crucial importance of seeing clearly. The next trial will test your prowess of observation and battle. Travel to the North Shroud and there put down 8 of those things and 8 Opos. In contrast to the inanimate and wholly unthreatening targets of the previous trial, these creatures may be relied upon to move around and fight back. Nor are those the only differences. Being comparatively numerous, the monsters are anything but difficult to find, and yet you may be assured that this task will test your powers of observation, albeit in a different manner. This time you will need to evaluate the abilities of your opponent. In so doing, you will learn, among other things, that produce poison that can quickly sap one's strength, while Opos, like archers, possess the advantage of range. Knowing their strengths, how will you go about mitigating them? If you commence your attack before identifying an effective strategy, you will soon be made to regret your folly. Sorry about that. But if you take the time to observe your targets from afar, you will surely glean the knowledge necessary to defeat them. I look forward to hearing of your success, Kiara. Alright, so now we go to the North Shroud. One of the reasons I wait until I'm basically level 50 to do these quests is, one, I don't have to span it out between various other objectives. And I didn't do that with White Mage because I was literally just focused on White Mage for the majority of the playthrough so far. Random Mage Swarm. Alright, that was those. Now I need to random mount the Black Chocobo. Alright. Not even bothering bringing my companion Chocobo out because these are just too weak to bother. And with that, we go and report back. We do finish the quest with this, it would seem. But this should open up the next quest line as well. Old Gridania is this way. Alright, and here we go. As you see, I am not currently at level 50, but based on prior experience, this should be enough experience to get me to level 50 after the quests. Welcome back, young Kiara. Tell me, were you able to put your techniques to good use? When faced with an enemy who can attack you from a distance, simply raining arrows down upon them is wasteful and dangerous both. The battle would be not more than a contest of strength. By employing the appropriate technique, however, one may bring down one's foes with greater ease and fewer arrows. For instance, you may choose to prime your weapon well and strike hard, or employ toxins to sap their strength over time. On the assumption that this fact dawned upon you prior to the fall of your 16th target, I congratulate you on passing the trial. Leia Severe, what is your honest evaluation? Not bad, if you ask me. The adventurer pulls a good bow, and is enthusiastic besides. A pleasure to meet you. My name's Leia Alifoff. This is my second year at the guild. It's quite plain that you have a talent with a bow, but you must take care to mind your surroundings when you're pursuing a target. I had my eye on you for the duration of your trial, but not once did you notice my presence. Mind your surroundings. That's rich coming from you. Your every movement is wasteful, adventurer. Your back is crooked, your elbows misaligned, and takes you an age to prime your bow and twice as long to loose an arrow. In summary, you fail on all counts. You have no talent as an archer, none whatsoever. I'll say it plain, Lucienne. This woman is not fit to wield a bow. For our sake and hers, we should revoke her membership. As I've always said, outsiders can scarce be expected to understand, never mind master, our noble art. We waste breath trying to teach her like... Well, anyhow, allow me to introduce you to Sylvier, our comrade in the butts. The fellow was once one of the gods' quiver, you see, and he can be a little opinionated when it comes to archery. Oh, but you mustn't pay him any heed. He's like that to everyone. You'd be lucky to get much sense out of a fossil-brained Wildwood Ellison like him at the best of times. With them, it's always 12s with this and 12 elementals that. And, oh, no offense intended, Lucine. None taken. Leia, I know full well that some of my kind can be prideful to excess and intolerant of other races. Although people may behold the same object, ever will they see different things. There is no right or wrong to it, for it is a question of perspective. What matters is the perspective we choose to adopt. You are possessed of bright eyes, Kiara. Eyes that bespeak great understanding. They shan't lead you astray. So trust them and to what they see. So trust to them and to what they see. Okay. Go now and resume your training. I look forward to marking your progress when we next meet. Okay. Alright, we're going to go with the 10 pieces. It pleases me to see you, or how you have grown as an archer. Plainly, you have taken my counsel to heart and learned to see with your own eyes. I would now have you discover what it means to behold things from a different standpoint. You will recall Leia Alapov, your senior in the guild. I have given you over to her care for this lesson. Speak with her and do as she bids. Okay. I've been expecting you, Kiara. Shall we get on with it then? First, a quick review. Remember how the Bowmaster had you seek out and destroy targets hidden throughout the city? I would have you do the same. This time, however, you will need to venture outside the gates. I'm sure you've realized this by now, but there's no guarantee of safety within the 12-foot. As you search, you should take care to mind your surroundings. You won't have the luxury of focusing solely on your quarry this time. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled for potential threats as well. That said, your objective is to destroy the targets alone. So avoid unnecessary combat and maintain a safe distance from any hostile creatures you encounter. Should you come under attack, take to your heels, risking direct confrontation risk only if you can't outrun your pursuers. The targets are hidden in the central shroud. As before, use the heavy shot technique to destroy each one with a single arrow. Go well, Kiara. All right. Central Shroud. Less appropriate for an archer, I would think. Much more appropriate for a mechanist, perhaps. Alright, that's 1 of 6. There's another one. Alright, and there's still one in this area. Under the bridge? Under the bridge. Okay. All of them in this area. So, Mount Behemoth. A little more appropriate, but not quite. At least in my personal opinion. There we go. And that's 6. Now we go back. Dragon! Dragon is a mount that's appropriate for all classes. Because dragon. There we go. Alright. Activate Peloton to get a speed boost. We'll take the Ethernet to the Archer Guild. And here we are. Well, well, you made short work of those targets, I must say. It seems you've learned to seek your prey without being preyed upon. Let's continue then. I have in mind to give you more practical experience, and we received a request just recently which I think will provide the perfect opportunity. It seems tree slugs and vultures have been congregating in ever-increasing numbers in the vicinity of the honey yard, causing no end of trouble. Oh, I did not mean to... Okay. This request comes directly from Stillglade Fane. When the Woodwhalers and the God's Quiver cannot spare the forces to attend to such matters, the conjurers often turn to us for help. And, before you ask, there's good reason why they would rather not see this particular, or to this particular task themselves. The creatures in question possess abilities which can cause problems for the magically inclined. That's quite enough about conjurers' troubles. But that's quite enough about conjurers' troubles. Lucienne and taught you how to discern an enemy's key traits. Did she not? Well, now you'll need to do so while maintaining situational awareness. Lest you be overrun. Okay. Consider this a comprehensive review of her lessons and mine own. Your orders are as follows. Head out into the East Shroud, and there put down 8 tree slugs and 8 vultures, using all of the skills you've acquired thus far. Good hunting, Kiara. Alright. Alright, East Shroud. Dakla. I will say no more unless I'm sued by Disney. That was intended as a joke in spite of everything that Nintendo has been doing. Disney hasn't been suing people based on being competition. Okay. Another tree slug. Alright, that's the tree slugs taken care of. Airship, airship. Now, I don't have to keep track of anything regarding these ones because like I've been saying, these are weaker enemies and I don't even get experience from them. At most, I'm getting some crafting materials from them. Alright, I need 2 more of them. And I think I killed them too fast because there are none currently spawned. We will be seeing what Bard is like here soon, and I'm interested in how it's going to turn out. Honestly, the hornets in this area would be somewhere I would personally very much avoid, as I'm allergic to bees. And bees are in fact the closest thing I have to a phobia. I very much attempt to avoid them whenever possible, and yeah, I get scared when I see them. For good reason, though. And it's not deathly allergy, or at least it hasn't been. Alright, some more of them have spawned. Good. I mean, I haven't been stung by a bee in a long time, and I don't plan on doing so anytime soon. So I don't know how bad my allergy is currently. I know that they can get worse over time and all that, especially if exposed to said allergen repeatedly. I have been fortunate enough to not be stung by a bee since I was a child. However, when I had been stung by one, it was right above my eye and it swelled up to about the size of a baseball and I couldn't really see out of that eye for a long time. I've very much been avoidant of bees since. This is also why Mega Beedrill is an incarnation of one of my greatest fears possible. Seriously though, ask anyone that's allergic to bees what they think of Mega Beedrill, and they will 100% of the time tell you it is terror incarnate. Judging by your smug expression, I'd say you've acquired a feel for maneuvering to exploit enemy weaknesses whilst covering your own. Vultures are wont to keep their opponents at wing's length, and their attacks will send you flying. The solution is simple: maneuver to the rear. Tree slugs, on the other hand, have an annoying knack of disrupting spellcasting with their secretions. As such, you would do well to keep the creatures away from any mages in your party. Needless to say, good positioning is key to success in battle, which is why it is absolutely essential that you know your target's traits. Knowing these traits is a fundamental part of hunting. Before the Keepers of the Moon conceived of archery, they dwelt not in the city, but in the forest. For my people, hunting was a way of life. In hindsight, I suppose this was more a lesson on hunting than on archery. Still, Lucia knows well my past. Mayhap that was her intent. Hunting, too, is an art. Before I came to Gridania, I never gave it much thought. But the more I think of home, the more I begin to realize... forgive me. I'm not given to fits of sentiment. Truly, forget I said anything. But do not forget that a hunter must recognize her prey's weakness and strike swiftly when the opportunity presents itself. This concludes the lesson. Now, I suggest we play Luciana a visit. She is doubtless eager to hear from... Okay. It is good to see you, Kiara. I hope you've learned much from Leia. You adventurer, is it true? You the one who slew the tree slugs and vultures? Yeah? How dare she entrust the security of our people to the hands of a stranger? I know Miqo'te were reckless, but she is downright irresponsible. Shame on her! Did I not warn you that it was folly to suffer that woman's presence in our guild, Luciana? Every time she wastes an arrow on game, she drags our noble art back into the darkness. Aye, and this girl, too. She's an embarrassment to us all. That is quite enough, Silviera. Your skill with a bow is undeniable, as is your love of our nation, or for our nation. Yet there is much more you have yet to learn about archery. Kiara has matured greatly in the short time that she has been with us. You know this to be true. I suggest you come to terms with Kiara's presence here. You will be giving her next lesson, after all. Unless, of course, you have any objections. Good. As for you, Kiara, I would have you devote yourself fully to training ahead of your lesson with Silvier. Suffice it to say, he will not be an easy instructor to impress. On that, we can agree. Bronzelegian. Alright. Next quest, we get Repelling Shot. We're also going to need to start selling some of these. Welcome back, Kiara. I trust you have been keeping your nose to the grindstone. As I mentioned when we last spoke, you will train under Silvier's tutelage today. Put aside your misgivings and avail yourself of his wealth of experience. Go now, present yourself before him. Hey, jerk. Huh. I see it was too much to hope that you would not return. The others believe that you have potential, but I am not so easily convinced. Like so many adventurers, you have not the faintest inkling what it means to be an archer. And how could you? Archery is the proud tradition of the Wildwood Elysian. The essence of this art, to read one's enemy, has been instilled in us over centuries. In that time, we have defended this great nation against every imaginable foe, granting us insight which you will never possess. Can you recognize the subtle signs that betray a coming action? No. Can you accurately predict your opponent's movement? No. Can you glean your foe's intentions at a glance? No. And can such things be learned by one who knows nothing of our traditions? No. It is only out of respect for Lucienne that I have agreed to teach you. Go to the East Shroud and seek out the targets hidden there, but do not presume this will be as easy as before. As I told you, the ability to read one's enemies is fundamental to archery. Yet the trials set by my colleagues did not require you to do this. Mine will. The targets you seek have been hidden, and I do mean hidden, in the midst of a region rife with savage beasts. They will play the part of your enemies. In the unlikely event that you spy a target, your limited range will necessitate that you slip past its bestial guardians prior to taking aim, a feat I consider beyond you. Was that a frown? Mayhap you are thinking that the Mikote sent you on a similar task. You're wrong. She merely asked that you consider where your foes are. I demand that you can discern precisely where they will be. Now then, will you go about this? Observe them closely and discern their characteristics. Learn to read their movements and recognize patterns in their behavior. If it has eyes, let it not see you. If it has ears, let it not hear you. Be neither where it is nor where it means to be, and thereby pass unnoticed. But enough talk. Whether or not you heed my counsel is your decision. I will shed no tears should you fail. I think I see why people wanted this particular quest line. Did they perhaps want me to voice a jerk? Because I am voicing the jerk. Bum, 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 bum. There's at least one more in this area, so let's try and find it. There it is. Alright, that's all of them there. Alright. Oh, there's one. And that'll be 6. How's he gonna spin this? Is he gonna spin it as dumb luck? Is he gonna spin it as accusing me, or by accusing me of cheating? Okay, to Peloton, and we will rush to the spot. Ethernet, Archer's Guild. I think Peloton falls under Bard because, look, you're playing a flute. I don't think they expect you to reach level 49 without getting Bard first. So you have returned. A passable performance for an adventurer, but the bare minimum for any archer. I carry with me generations of Wildwood tradition, a tradition built upon the bones of the many outsiders who tried to take what is ours. It was my ancestors who first learned to conceal their presence and fight from the shadows, to hold the enemy at a distance, to protect the weak. All of it, everything was... This is a waste of time. You cannot understand. But if you are so intent upon following in the footsteps of my people, I bid you go to the North Shroud. Ixali's scouts have been sighted near the river, west of Etat Spire. And unless you are entirely ignorant of Gridanian history, I need not explain that this act of aggression is part of a centuries-old conflict. The minions do not matter. It is their leader, Nizul Catalin, the Violator, who must fall. He commands the scouts and will be well guarded, yet he stands upon hostile ground, with birdmen and not walls for protection. If you are diligent and determined, you can slip through their defenses and slay their leader. This is the art of the Gridanian archer. Embrace the wisdom I have bestowed upon you, and the fight will be short. If you see the deed done, adventurer, I will take it as proof of your commitment to us, and labor no more to drive you from the guild. Now go. Okay, to the North Shroud. Our very own Chocobo that I have dressed in the Black Mage getup. Alright, level sync to 19. leg raise. There's a shot. And a shot. We have to fight this one, it would seem. So what we're going to do is we're going to Bloodletter, Venom Throat, here is and with that, we completed the duty. All right. There we go. Old Gridania. Turn right. There's Peloton. Alright, here we go. Even now, I struggle to credit the sentry's report. Yet, here you are, and Nezzelcotton, the violator, is no more. That goddamned adventurer Shroud... That goddamned adventurer should be so... Only by the grace of Nezian herself could you have survived. But, even though it was pure luck... of course, how do they call this? I will keep my word, Kiara. Should you stay or should you go, I care not. You have completed the task and are no longer my responsibility. Go now to Lucienne. She will doubtless wish to lavish you with praise. Oh, you'll get no more from me. Off with you. I'm given to understand you single-handedly drove off an Ixali scouting party, and that you did so with precision and guile. How exactly was that training, Lucienne? Kiara's just an adventurer. Sylviar thrust her into the jaws of the enemy in hopes that she wouldn't come back. And when against all expectations she did come back, the stubborn R still refused to acknowledge her skill. Is that truly your impression? Well, yes, he said it was pure luck. Mere noise. Sylviara sees Kiara's skill. Of that I have no doubt. Did you not mark the way he covered his mouth when he uttered the words? It is a habit of his to do so on those occasions when his tongue and heart are in disagreement. For all his skill in reading the idiosyncrasies of others, he has yet to recognize his own. Impressive work, Kiara. You have applied yourself to Leia and Sylvia's lessons and demonstrated your command of the core concepts. You are now an archer in your own right. Allow me to teach you something to commemorate your accomplishment, or this accomplishment. Repelling shot is an advanced technique that enables an archer to evade attacks while continuing to fire upon her opponent. Used wisely, it can grant you a brief respite in the heat of battle. I have faith that with regular practice you will learn how to best to employ it to your advantage. Remember your senior's lessons as you strive for true mastery. Alright, we get more thing to sell. Repelling shot. We now have the level 15 skill for the quest line. To catch a poacher. You come at a good time, Kiara. I have a task for you. A petition has arrived from the proprietor of Buskard and Dunn's brothers out in the South Shroud. The petitioner, Buscaron himself, has requested our assistance in dealing with a gang of poachers. I would have the three of you meet with him and investigate his claims. The three of us? You mean Kiara, myself, and... It would be better if I went alone, Lucienne. The Miqo'te and the other one will only encumber me. No, Silviere, you will go as three. Also, it is past time you recognize Kiara as a fellow archer. I have held my tongue on the matter of her continued presence here, but I will bend no further. Who in the seven hells do you think you are? Lord Luian? In case you've forgotten, you aren't even a Quiverman anymore. That may be, but I have shed blood defending our borders, unlike you, savage. Savage? You know nothing about me, you bigoted son of a... Enough! But one more word, and you shall have cause to regret your petulance. The three of you will go to Buskerson's brothers in the South Shroud. Now, out of my sight! To be fair, the Miqo'te's crash out was valid. Alright. In the meantime, I'm going to teleport here. I'm going to sell some of the stuff I have and make sure my gear is up to repair. This doesn't matter too much. What I need to do is go here. Then the repair is on the other side, isn't it? Of course it is. Apothecary, Tradecraft, Tinker, Importer of Exotics. Arms vendor, there you are. What do you have anyway? Nothing that we can buy. Okay. Alright, so we need to head to the South Shroud. So first we're going to go to the Central Shroud. The Black Chocobo! Alright. We need to go to the South Shroud, which means a little more this way. There's Bent Branch. Alright, this way. As we get to the Bard quests, I should gain a lot more experience from them, which will lead to leveling up. Ah, you must be the lot from the Archers Guild. Welcome, friends. Now, as your guildmaster will have said, I put in a request for some keen-eyed archers to help me track down a gang of poachers that have been plaguing these parts. If I may, it is not uncommon to find poachers in this region. While regrettable, neither the God's Quiver nor the Wood Whalers deem them worthy of attention. Why then do you imagine them worthy of ours? 'Cause these ain't no common poachers. They're Pawa Mugjang's gang. They say she and hers are always moving, staying one step ahead, but I reckon she's hiding out here somewhere. Thing is, I can't just send my people out searching. I made a pact with the Red Belly Bandits, see? We stay out of their territory, and they don't make no trouble for the Druthers. That being said, if I summoned the masses, or master ranks of the Whalers and Quivermen, all 7 hells would swiftly break loose. Assuming they thought the matter worthy of their attention, of course. Needless to say, that's not an option. As luck would have it, though, I've got 3 keen-eyed archers to take care of things instead, and all without raising no alarms. We understand. You may leave the matter to us. Leia, Kiara, split up and scour the area for any sign of the poachers. Should you discover anything, return here and wait. We will reconvene to compare our findings ere long. Go. Alright, he's suddenly taking this seriously, isn't he? Interesting that he does so now. Alright, we have that. Okay. I think that's one over there. Yep. Kind of trap. There it is. Okay. An arrow, a trap, and an empty mead bottle. Alright, had to respond to something in a separate Discord real quick. An iron leg trap and a poacher's arrow. Those are both evidence of illegal activity, but nothing that will help us find the Pawa. And these mead bottles are but old refuse from before the Druthers was even built. They've no connection to the gang. What do you know of this Pawa woman, Sylvier? I know that she is the most infamous poacher ever to walk the Twelveswood. A born leader, deadly with a bow, she formed her own gang of Makote hunters. She was apprehended once and would have been brought to justice had she not tricked a foolish young sentry into releasing her before vanishing without a trace. Is that so? In any case, we've scoured the area and found nothing. How do we know that this Pawa was ever even here? I say we inform the God's Quiver, the Wood Whalers, taking care of not to implicate Buscaron, and leave the rest to them. This doesn't concern the Archers Guild. It concerns Gridania, Leia. Pawa Majuk is a savage and utterly immoral poacher whose actions, however indirectly, threaten the city's well-being. But what would a vagrant like you know of duty to one's homeland? No more than she, I suspect. How dare you? And you, Kiara, say something. Now's not the time for this. We can't be fighting about things right now. Very well. We'll return to the matter at hand. Mayhap we should take a second look at the clues we've gathered. Look all you want. Though the trap and arrow we found suggest poaching, there is nothing remotely unusual about them. What do you think we should examine, Kiara? The empty mead bottles. Why are you still carrying that rubbish? I told you those bottles predate the Druthers. They have no connection with this matter. But if these bottles were so old, why do they retain the scent of mead? They must surely have been opened recently. Wait. Before the calamity, Buscaron once served as a sentry. Yet, even then, he sometimes spoke of owning his own tavern. And it was an open secret that he was brewing his own private stock. If some survived, of course, Buscaron's Scar, his old lookout post. It may not be Pawa Majuk, but we must investigate it once. See? How did I know it was the bottles? He specifically discredited them without looking. Arrogant individuals often do so. Busker and Scar, Busker and Scar. Alright, faint footprints. Level sync to 24. Any sign? Look, the ground is covered with Mikote footprints. These tracks are fresh, very fresh. I'll wager the bandits were alerted to our coming and fled. Else they're hiding near... Take cover! Eh? And there I was, thinking we'd caught ourselves some of them meddling, bloody masqueraders. Not that I'm complaining. Hiding your faces downright... On your face is downright bloody rude when you ain't been introduced. Speaking of ill manners, don't you know it ain't decent to barge your way into a lady's bedchamber without knocking? You would lecture us on manners? Truly, I've heard it all. They have us outnumbered. We'd best split up. The leader's mine. I'll try to isolate her from her litter. Sylviara, Kiara, the rest I leave to you two. As you will. Alright, we are now level synced to 24. Enemies. Applied poison to all of them? Alright, there we go. Was that the last of them? Have you seen Elfinoff? With me, Kiara. That was a piss poor showing, sister. Can you call yourself a keeper? A hunter with no fangs ain't nothing but prey. No. Ah, bugger. Looks like playtime's over. Be seeing you, sister. Well, that was a eventful encounter, wasn't it? Now we report back to the tavern keeper. Alright, here we go. Seven hells, they were at my old post? And they drank my old mead? That stings most of all. Well, 'tis past in time the proper authorities were informed. I'll send a message to the Wood Whalers and God's Quiver. The Red Belly Bandits won't like it one bit, but I'll see they're told exactly who the military is after. I only hope it'll be enough. Of course, Pewa Majok's no fool. Now she knows she's been spotted, she'll break camp and be long gone by the time next bell sounds. And the trail won't stay fresh long either. Anyway, you have done me a great kindness, friends. Tell Lucienne I appreciate the help. Unicorn! Oddly fitting for the archer, all told. Alright. Central Shroud is right over here. One of the paths to it anyway. So we'll go here. Hi Marco, what's wrong? What's the matter about these? Yep, this is the path we had taken before, so we're still on the right way. And my dog just wants to lay down beside, or sit down beside me up against me. And take a boy. Alright. There we go. That's the way. I see it. He just wants reassurance that he's loved and wants to reassure me that he loves me. I'm a good boy. Aren't you, Marco? You're a good boy. Yeah, you can lean up against me whenever you want, buddy. I'm not going anywhere today. Internet, Archer's Guild. Alright, there we go. And report the events. Welcome back, Kira. Silviera tells me you encountered Pewa Majok. No Gridanian could fail to recognize that name. So oft has it been spoken, and with such bitterness. I fear we lack the strength to face her ourselves. This is a matter for the God's Quiver and Wood Whalers. That you confronted her and survived is a testament to your growing mastery of our art. Ah, and I was surprised to note that Leia and Silviera were not at loggerheads upon their return. I presume we owe this the unnatural state of affairs to your calming influence. No, modest to the last. Truly, your every deed bespeaks a clarity of vision far beyond your years. I implore you that to share that perspective with your peers and help them to grow into better, wiser archers. As you go forth and temper your skills in battle, know that we always look forward to your return. We are near the end of the Archer storyline. Ah, Kiara, I had hoped you would come. You may be able to help. I am concerned about Leia and Sylvier. They show signs of losing perspective, and, well, mayhap it's best you see for yourself. I cannot help but feel that both would benefit from your counsel. Consider this a personal request, Kiara. Oh, gods. Did Lucia and I send you to pester me by any chance? This is hardly her concern, and it is most definitely not yours. If you must know, I have decided to leave the guild. I mean to track down Pawa and finish what we started. The God's Quiver and the Woodwhalers seem content to ignore our warnings. But I will not let her escape again. I have already made that mistake once, and it cost me my place in the God's Quiver. I, the foolish young sentry of whom I once spoke. He was me. We had her, Kiara. There was no escape, but then she begged and wailed about a wounded comrade, one who would surely die without her help. She looked me straight in the eyes and begged, and I blinked. I failed to see through the most elementary ruse. I failed Gridania and the God's Quiver, and, while that can never be forgiven, mayhap I can reclaim a measure of honor by stopping her. But a wanderer like you would not understand what it means to betray your people. Worry not, I do not intend to leave just yet. I will continue to gather information until I am certain of Majok's whereabouts. Make no mistake, though, it is only a matter of time. Now, run along, will you? Oh, and if you are still concerned about your fellow guildmates, you should attend to that moping with Toke. The sight of her shuffling around while staring at her feet is bad for morale. Not that it matters to me. Oh, it's you. Tell me, Kiara, do you ever think about home? Do you ever wish that you could go back? Mine was just another poor village in the Twelveswood. The fields were more stone than soil, and merchants hardly ever bothered to visit. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't need it. And then the calamity came. I remember running and screams. It was so loud, Kiara. So unbearably loud. And then I was here, in a strange city, surrounded by more people than I'd ever seen, and I didn't know any of them. But I knew how to hunt. I was always good at hunting, Kiara, and the guild gave me a place to get better. At least I thought I had gotten better. She, Pawa Majok, she was so much more. I've been thinking, Kiara, maybe this is a sign. Maybe Sylvier is right. This guild, this city, is no place for an outsider like me. So I've decided to leave. I'm glad to have known you, Kiara, even if it was only for a short while. Forgive me if this is being too selfish a request, but before I go, I would like to meet with you one last time. Alone, in the South Shroud. The Squadronians would not understand. Oh boy. Style Shroud again. Alright. Bit more this way. Alright. There we go. Destination. No, don't hurt her. And there I was, thinking you might accept my kind invitation. I don't recall inviting her, though. 'Tis rude to presume, missy, and I do so hate rudeness. Wait, it's not her fault, it's mine. I invited her. She's a member of the Archers Guild like me, and she's not Gridanian. Ah, I do recall her face. I knows how to hold a bow, that one. Well, she ain't the typical recruit, but I reckon I might be willing to make an exception. No, it's not like that. I wanted to say goodbye. Kiara, ever since I met Pewa, I've been at a loss. But I realize now that my place isn't at the guild with the Gridanians. They'll never accept me. This is where I belong, with my people, carrying on our traditions, our archery, not Gridania's. That's all I have left, Kira. So I'm going with Pewa. Maybe you don't understand now, but just promise me you won't tell Luciene or Silviera. Hells I won't. Kiara? I had a feeling she might be harboring a few niggling objections. Worry not, sister. Put an arrow in her. No! Ain't no love lost twixt ye and the guild, is there? Then what's the problem with feathering a bloody venturer? No bugger will miss her. I'll miss her all right, so just stop. Dear me, and I had such high hopes for you, Miss Elfinoff. A waste of bloody time. A keeper what's lost her nerves about as much nerves is about as much use to me as a glass bow. But there's no point killing captured prey. There's no sport killing captured prey. I'd better not see neither of you again, 'cause if I do, I'll show you what happens to prey what's daft enough to get caught twice. Away, sisters, away! How do you do it, Kiara? How do you live in this place with these people? And why do you even bother? What have they ever given you besides scorn? Well, what do you see in them, Kiara? Even though you've joined the guild after I did, you've come so far so quickly. Maybe you've even surpassed me. I have to know how you've done it. I have to know what it is I'm I'm doing wrong. And there's only one way I can think to find out what, or to find out. Meet me at Barnock. Alright, and the Banner Rock. Okay. And that is where exactly? Oh. Yep. Okay, Central Shroud. Alright. Right. Okay, yeah, that's there. So this is the way we need to go. Alright. This one does have some interesting storyline to it as well. Alright, Bent Branch. Not our end destination, but we are on the right map now. Alright. Going along pretty well, I'd say. Shall we begin, Kiara? Level sync to 29. Hello, Marco. Then defend yourself. Show me what these people have taught you. Alright, we have her poison, we have her this. I see now. Alright, we completed that duty easily enough. It's so simple. You've opened your eyes and looked beyond your master's faults. You've accepted their teachings and taken them to heart. Even Silvier, for all his bigotry, wishes only to preserve his traditions. I lost sight of everyone else's struggles and became obsessed with mine. Own. With mine own. I was so afraid to let go of my cherished notion of archery, my family's notion, and learn another way. I didn't want to betray them or dishonor their memory. But I have a family here too. A family that sees the wider world and is willing to show me how blinded I have become. As archers, we train our eyes and minds to be unforgiving, to defy any attempt at concealment and discern the naked truth. It is little wonder, then, that I have neglected to look inside myself until now. Though unquestionably worthwhile, I have found the experience rather excruciating. Thank you, Kiara. I know now that I belong with the guild, together with you and Lucien. And yes, even that bloody Wildwood. Gods help me. I think I might actually miss him. Alright. Alright, there we go. We are reaching the end portion of this quest line, which will lead in to the Bard quest line. I wonder how that's going to tie in. What is the perspective of bards in this setting? And what new weird mechanics will be unlocked? Ethernet. Archer's good. Alright. Welcome home, Kiara. You need not say a word. One look at Leia's eyes was enough. I thank you for returning her to us. When we focus on a single goal and pursue it with passion and fervor, it becomes easy to lose sight of what else lies before us. With your skill and vision, Kiara, you can help your fellow archers look beyond themselves and remember their comrades. I hope I can count on your support in the future. Here it is, the level 30 and final Archer quest piece. Let's begin, shall we? Thank the gods you've come, Kiara. Perhaps you can talk some sense into this stubborn fool. Calm yourself, Sylvier. At least let us petition the Order of the Twin Adder for... There is no time, Luciene. Poa will be long gone before their forces had even assembled. Alone I can move swiftly, take these poachers by surprise, and force them to divulge her location. We understand how you feel, Sylvier, but this is too reckless. At least permit Kiara and me to accompany you. You? The adventurer and the savage? You cannot understand. Sylvier. But I do understand. I know what it means to take pride in your home. To want more than anything to protect it, and to be consumed by guilt when you cannot. I see what you're going through, Sylvier, and I understand. This guild taught me to open my eyes and see clearly. I beg you, Sylvier, open yours. You have friends here, ready to fight. You have us. I had never considered you my friends. Do not follow me. Well, his lying certainly hasn't improved. If he honestly thinks he's doing us a favor by forbidding us from getting involved, he's an even bigger fool than I imagined. Come, Kiara, to the South Shroud. All right. The South Shroud, so we have to go through the Central Shroud first. Easy enough to accomplish. Behemoth! Onward! is very foggy right now. This is interesting. I want to take a moment to just look at this. It's an interesting view. All right. And there we go. The fog is a great weather. Personally, I enjoy foggy days. Alright, and down we go. Down we go. There we go. Level sync is in effect. Well, this is unfortunate. Sylvier! Leah, Kiara, I told you not to follow me. I neither need nor want... Don't take me for a fool. You cannot conceal the truth from this archer's eye. Kiara, the others are almost upon us. We must make our stand here and protect Sylvier. Over there now, okay. Now over there, alright. Alright. Where's the next batch? Oh, we're done. Okay. I told you I do not need nor want your assistance. Quit. Quite why have you deluded yourselves into thinking... You're the one who's deluded. Thinking you could deceive us. When even a blind man can see that you're covering your mouth with every time you tell a lie. Observe with intent, overlooking not the smallest detail. Discern your subjects' unique characteristics and recognize patterns in their behavior. I learned these things from Lucienne and from you. And I'll be damned if I'm going to watch you get yourself killed. There's still so much I don't know about Gridania and Wildwood archery. So much that I need you to teach me. I suppose fixing your form is the least I can do. Why, Powa's gang is already on the move. We have but one chance to catch them. Poachers throughout Twelveswood use bone whistles like this one to communicate. With it, I believe we can lure Pawa out of hiding, assuming she has not moved on. So that's why you came to Taker's Rot, for this gang's whistle. Kiara, if you are determined to help me, I have a task for you. Pawa was last seen near Isamhar, to the east of the camp. Through a hollow tree trunk is a clearing where two streams meet, and efts are wont to congregate. You will lay our trap there, and you will be the bait. Or we will lay our trap there, and you will be the bait. Do not fear, Kiara. I swear on my honor as a Gridanian archer that no harm will come to you. Alright, and so we set off. And this is the location. Level sync. Bollocks. I knew I should have trusted my gut. Trusted me gut. Alright, and here we are. Some looks just can't take a hint. I do hope you will forgive my forwardness, madam. No, sir. 'Tis most flattering. Would you agree, sisters? Why don't we show our gallant Wildwood admirer and his mates just how much we appreciate their attentions? I hope you like it rough, darling. Alright, and so we have they have a door. There we go. That was close to a few of them. And I thought you only had eyes for me. I can't. I won't. Alright, level is no longer synced. We can now go to Lucienne. Hi. That dog looked over at me like, what's going on? I plan on having today be a longer stream. I will cut the sections into two if I'm still up for it. Which, currently I feel like I'm fine for it. Marco, don't you spill your food bowl. You have food in your bowl. You don't necessarily need to spill it all over the floor. Tell you what, I'll go into a BRB screen after I finish the Archer quests and before I go into the Bard quests. And I will get you some water in your food and let you out again real quick. How does that sound? Not specifically in that order. I'll let you out and then get water in your bowl while you're outside. And then get you back in with a treat. How's that sound? Does that sound good, buddy? Okay, you like that idea, I take it. Alright. I am relieved to see you again, Kiara. Hang on, Marco. Had the three of you not been united in your purpose, Pawamajuk would still be free, and one or more of you would surely be dead. I'm so proud of you, Kiara. Not only have you mastered our teachings, but you have also helped your guildmates regain the perspective that they had lost. For showing such compassion to your peers, I wish to teach you a new technique, Wind Bite. With Wind Bite, you can bring the power of the very air around you to bear against your opponent, and they would suffer on long after you have knocked your next arrow. It will serve you well in battle, I am certain. All archers walk the same path, Kiara, towards improvement and discovery. As long as you have the vision to see the path ahead, you will continue to mature and excel. Yet we all grow weary and lose direction in time. When this befalls you, I have no doubt you will find your way back to us. Trust in your eyes, Kiara. They will never lead you astray. Alright, and we get the final bit of this quest line. And yes, Marco, I did promise, and I will. So just hang on a little bit. Hang on a little bit. And there we have it, the Soul of the Bard. So, for this, I'm going to be right back. Yes, Marco, I need to get to the BRB screen. Okay, very close to reaching level 50 with Archer, which is going to become Bard in just a moment. So, without further ado, well met, Kiara. I thought we would have, or would that we had time for banter, but we're all up in arms here. Yet another Ixali dirigible has been spotted over the Twelveswood. You see, their reappearance calls to mind the Battle of Griffin Crossing. Well, I say battle. Most are agreed that massacre would be rather more apt. The Ixal dealt a crushing blow that day, right around this time of year. It was more than 2 decades past. A humiliating episode in our history, to be sure, but heavens forbid that we ever forget it. Failure is the finest, if not kindest, of teachers, and few things drive a woman better than its sting. But do let us speak of cheerier matters. Mayhap you've already heard, but a renowned archer has recently returned to the Twelveswood, the only one they call the God's Bow, or the one they call the God's Bow. It is just a title, of course. His birth name is Jehentel, and he was once the God's Quiver. The man was a legend even then, and there was no honor greater than being taken under his tutelage. But that's not all there is to him, mind you. Jehentel was also a skilled bard, one of the rare few capable of inspiring others to great feats through song. Upon learning that the God's Bow had returned, dozens of us flocked to him in hopes of training under a legend, yours truly included. Alas, the meetings haven't unfolded quite as we had hoped. Jehentel has refused to teach each of us, or each and every suitor that has approached him thus far. Though it should be mentioned that the topics he is reluctant to instruct us in do not include poetry and song. He seems exceedingly keen to teach us all about them. Some few of us were tempted to take him up on that offer, save that we have a nation to defend. Far be it from me from my intent to belittle all those bards out there, but I like my chances rather better charging into battle with a quiver than a harp. And here we were, hoping that transcendent mastery of the bow might be ours. By that sparkle in your eye, I'd wager you have an interest in that self-same poetry and song. Come now, there's no call for shyness, and there is more to life than battle. If you would present yourself as a pupil of Jehentel, I happen to know his whereabouts. I am given to understand that he has made his camp somewhere west of Quarrymill in the South Shroud. Jehentel is an agreeable sort of fellow and should be willing enough to meet with you. Truth be told, I'm still holding out onto hope. If you find a way into Genitel's confidence, mayhap he might yet be persuaded to train us. I wish you the best of luck, friend. I need to turn off the light or two. A bit of glare is being a bit annoying on my screen at the moment. That should be better. Okay. Terribly sorry about that. Now then, South Shroud, they said. Okay. I'm also going to be eating while I go. Alright, we're on the map. Sounds like a quarry mill, they said. Quarry mill is that one over there. Oh, there we are. Okay, and stop. Down. Ah, another guest. You were kind to pay me a visit, young one. Naught gives us elderly folk more pleasure than the company of the young, and to that a steaming pot of tea, add to that a steaming pot of tea and the beauty of the Twelveswood, and we could want for little more. But the curl of your lip tells me that tea and scenery are not what you desire. You seek knowledge of archery, I take it, in which case I'm afraid I must appoint you. Kiara, was it? Yes, I'm Jehentel, the one they called the God's Bow, but that was in another life. I've long cast aside my bow, taking instead a harp in my hand. For years I have lived as a bard, going wherever the wind blows, exuding in the beauty of creation through song. To be sure, I still have the eyes to recognize a promising archer when I see one, and you, young one, have promise. Keep your nose to the grindstone, and one day you might count yourself a virtuoso of the bow. Yet, I know that virtuosity is worthless without virtue. Aye, the words of the ballad of the vainglorious fool tell us this much. You truly wish to remain and learn poetry and verse? Well. I must admit to being rather taken aback. Certainly, or in uncertain days such as these, there are few who devote their time to song as opposed to more tangible endeavors. You intrigue me, young one. I find myself growing curious as to how the melodies of old might find expression through you. I do believe a certain friend of mine would be the self-same opinion. Aye, that would be as good a place for us, or as any, for us to begin. Listen well, Kiara. There's a Moogle named Pukopoki who can oft be found wandering in areas situated east of here. I would have you present yourself to him. Puknopoki is possessed of a discerning eye for talent. If he sees potential in you, I should be well satisfied that you indeed have the makings of a bard. Heed me, O puissant Alet. Turn thee over the hourglass of time, that we might gaze upon the battles of yore. Alright, and on we go! To the east! To a Moogle! And down we go. How could this have happened? It's just so embarrassing. A blunder for the ages, Kupo. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? That's a rare talent, I'll allow. But you've caught me at a bad time, Kupo. Now, be a good adventurer and show yourself out. Gentiel sent you. You should have said so sooner, Kupo. You do know that he is no ordinary bard, yes? His songs can salve your heart and strengthen your resolve. They can banish your fears and fill you with hope. And that's not even scratching the surface. Why, to hear him perform is like bathing in the sunbeams, Kupo. I've asked, begged, and pleaded more times than I can count for Gentiel to stay and sing in the forest. Only now has he deigned to set foot in here again. But he's refusing to sing for us. That's a blatant breach of promise, Kupo. What's this? Why, your being resonates with a chord similar to Gentiel's. Perhaps even identical, Kupo. By the 12th, this means that things may yet turn out as planned. Why, you might even have it in you to surpass the man. And that's saying a lot, Kupo. Egads, your coming had so excited me, my predicament had nigh escaped my mind. It's a charm that I had meant to give Gentiel, you see, but it was stolen as I napped, Kupo. I roused just in time to espy the thief and attempted to give chase. Alas, drowsiness robbed me of my balance, and I was delayed by this tree. Last I saw that overbold brigand, he, or possibly she, was scurrying towards Taker's Rot, Kupo. And now I realize we've only just met, but would you mind recovering the charm and delivering it to Gentiel in my stead? Alright, Taker's Rot is right over here. Oh, here we go. Stolen crate. bring it back to make sure it's the right one. Have you recovered the charm? You did it, Kupo. Please, you must now deliver it to Gentiel. Tell him that Pokey thanks him for a cunning rogue, but is excited nonetheless. So excited, in fact, that he cannot help but sing. Kupo. Alright, now we just head back to him. And we should be unlocking Bard very shortly. Alright, and down. There he is. Welcome back, Kiora. You have a charm and a message for me from Pokey, you say? Cunning rogue, am I? I suppose I must explain. Pokey and I go a long way back, or back a long way. When first I took up the harp, I made a promise to him. One that I have yet to make good on. Pokey has long desired that I remain in the Twelvewood to sing for the rest of my days. Regrettably, I have been ill able to oblige him. Duty called, you see. I had battlefields to stand upon and comrades to protect. Moreover, an event came to pass that rendered me, by being in the Twelvewood, problematic. I thought that by taking eager souls such as you under my wing, mayhap it would suffice to appease Pokey. Of course, he saw straight through my little ruse. What the Mughals lack in grace, they amply make up for in wit. The creatures are great lovers of song. That you return with this charm is proof positive of his high regard for your potential as a bard and archer both. The charm is a crystal known as the soul of the bard. Pokey asked that you bring it to me, but he meant for you to have it. It is a gift from the Mughals, bestowed upon those they deem worthy of walking the path of the true bard. The soul of the bard harbors memories of the past, verses and refrains sung by bards of old. As you grow in worldly experience, more of these memories will find expression through your being, imbuing your song with powers untold. Now, it may surprise you to hear that bowmen and bards are next to kin. By the same token, mastery of song is dependent on one's prowess as an archer. The sense in this will be lost upon you at first, but in time the realization will dawn that bow and harp are but stringed instruments played by the same hand. Go now, Kiara, and let your body and soul drink deep the melodies of old. When next we meet, I hope to see a fully fledged bard standing before me, one who exceeds even Pokey's wildest expectations. Alright, and we have unlocked Bard! And we learned Mage's Ballad. The next Bard quest, yada yada, blah blah blah. Wait. and yes for that. Transfer. Alright, singing Mage's Ballad will display actions corresponding song gauge, indicating the effect's time remaining. If the repertoire effect is triggered while Mage's Ballad is being sung, the recast time for Bloodletter and Reign of Death, earned at level 45, are reduced. Alright, and we are now a bard. And level 50. The Warden's Peen is our next bard ability. Ah, that glint of determination in your eyes is testament to your newfound strength. You put me in mind of my salad days, Kiara. You would know why I truly abandoned the battlefield and became a bard? That I took a narrow knee is what most folk believe, but it is quite clear you're not most folk. Very well, I shan't insult your intelligence with the non-truth. For now, allow me to answer by saying that everything in creation is given to change, and man most of all. I was drawn to the power of song, the power to touch the very souls of men, and decided that I must pursue it. Sadly, that power has been all but forgotten in this age of cynicism. Such songs as those performed by tavern bards served no purpose beyond the amusement of drunkards. But that was not always the way of it. There was a time when song could shape the outcome of conflict. Ever since nations first quarreled, armies have fielded archers wherewith they rained death upon the enemies from afar, and the battles unfolded. The distinction between the lines of friend and foe would grow hazy, yet the archer's part did not end there. He had to stay ever alert, with arrow nocked and eyes trained upon the struggle. Even as his comrades fell, turning the earth red with their blood, the archer could ill afford to avert his gaze, lest that moment cost another his life. One need not have vivid imagination to appreciate the torrent of emotion that raged within him in that moment. Nerves near to fraying, his breast fit to burst, the archer did the only thing he could. He sang. His bow became a makeshift instrument plucked as an accomplishment. At first the archer sang only to still the roiling within, but his voice chanced to carry to his comrades. It inspired those engaged in combat, lending strength to their sword arms, and to those who lay upon the precipice of death, it granted a measure of peace. Realizing the tactical potential of song, yet loath to set aside skilled archers, for that purpose, armies began raising dedicated regiments of minstrels. But the members of such units were no warriors, Kiara. Fair of voice and nimble of finger, these career minstrels could find a place in the hall of any lord. Yet they knew not of the burden borne by those who charge into battle, whose lot is to dance with death and sup on pain. And so their songs rang hollow, holding no power over the hearts of men. In eastern Lanoska, spirits are said to haunt the trees of Raincatcher Gully. I would ask you to travel there and await the emergence of these specters. Through force of arms, you are to release the spirits from their tormented existence, and, in the doing, ease their unfathomable suffering. With such a deed, might you draw forth an ancient melody from the soul of the bard. Alright, Raincatcher Gully in Lenoska. To get there, we're going to sort as well. We need to sell these as well. I just realized. Okay. Vesper Bay ticket. That's what I was looking for. Alright. This is Vesper Bay. Oh, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm just not looking into commissions at this time at all. Also, sorry for the delay in noticing your messages on here. Alright, and we are in Lenoska. Where exactly we need to go, however, is... Eastern Lenoska. Okay. That's easy enough to get to. Go to middle. Mount. Airship. Okay, that's a good one. Looking at the hull is not where we want to go. We need to go northward more. Okay. I hope you're still here, and like I said, I'm sorry about not noticing your messages sooner. Sorry about that as well. I don't tend to look over at chat when I am voicing out a scene. try to focus on remembering what voices I'm giving to which characters. Raincatcher Gully. And we need to go further south. Further south. There it is. Once we are here, landing. Alright, we need to find spirits here. Either a location to wait, investigate, or what... oh! It literally is where I was landed. Okay. Alright, and was that going to be the end of those? A melody sung by the old bards resounds within you. Alright, so we need to go back to Quarry Mill. To do that, we're going to take a shortcut. Actions and traits, general, and return to Gridania. Alright, from here we're going to be going to Central Shroud and then South Shroud. I'm a little distracted by my dog being out of my eyesight right now. Come on, Marco. Come on. It'd be fine if he was in other areas, but right now he's by the garbage can and I do not want him getting into garbage can. Come here, Marco. Come here, bud. Marco. Marco, buddy. Marco. Marco, you want to bring me a toy? Trying to keep a husky within sight. It's almost a full-time job in and of itself. You know? Hi, Marco. At least I can see you now. Alright. Welcome back, Kiara. In your eyes, I see a layer of understanding, of regret, and of futility. And in your heart, it now echoes with the strains of an old song, newly discovered. Embrace this song, and as you play it in battle, shall ever more powerful emotions beset and temper your soul. When your stock of tales has grown, pray return and regale me with the stories of your adventures. Hang on, I'm trying to lift cords for my dog to go under again. Marco, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, Marco. Marco. Marco, what is the matter, baby? Alright, we got the quest completed and a new song. That is the takeaway from this. Good boy. Okay. Yeah, you can sit there. Yeah, you can sit there. Alright, and the next one we get is Army's Pan. "'Tis good to see you returned, Kiara, and more seasoned still for your time in the world. Call me a spoony bard, but as a man in the winter of his years, it gives me great joy to observe an adventure in the spring of hers. This is an odd time for recollection, but it was a spring day when a bard first came to my hometown. He played the most sorrowful chords, even as his words tantalized the ear and are like the breath of one's first love. Many a maiden's heart was stolen during his visit, and doubtless more besides. Kiara, would you believe that common bards, too, were born of archers? This may seem far-fetched upon first hearing, but it isn't so far a stretch. Ask yourself this. What becomes of soldiers when conflict goes or gives way to peacetime? Some have lives they might return to, aye, but most must needs take up a new trade to make ends meet. Well, it so happens that many who had once bent the bow took to strumming the harp. They wandered the realm, singing passionately and earnestly of the wars as seen through their own eyes, of sweet victories and bitter defeats, of sacrifice and cowardice. Their songs captured the imaginations of the people. Nary a day passed that a bard was not called upon or called to perform, be it in a humble tavern or some great lord's hall. Alas, their popularity proved their downfall. Intoxicated by the attentions of the masses, the bards took to embellishing their songs in a bid to outdo one another. Over time, each song was shorn of its veracity, till the bard's repertoire contained but or not one shred of truth. By now you will know that such songs have no purchase upon men's hearts. Certainly a bawdy tune may set off a fit of laughter in a sailor, and a sorrowful ballad summon tears from the eyes of a soft-hearted maiden. Yet these are but pale shadows of what song can achieve. For a blessing, this decline did not escape the notice of the Mughals. As great patrons of the arts, they feared the true power of song might be lost to mankind. So it was that they labored to gather and safeguard those crystals known as souls of the bard, that they might be bestowed upon worthy men and women. There is a parallel I see here, and it scares me. And now, well as I know you relish listening to my sermons, I dare say it's past time we moved on to the practical side of the lesson. Now, I I know I have mentioned this previously, but tell me, are you perchance familiar with the Ballad of the Vainglorious Fool? Nay? Well, that won't do at all. We must remedy this post haste. The song recounts the massacre of Griffin Crossing, a battle that took place decades past, wherein countless Gridonian lives came to a premature end. But do forgive me. I seem to have mistaken the proper order of things. Before I begin, I must be convinced that the point of the tale will not be lost upon you. Elsewise, I will have wasted my breath in the telling of it. Now, heed well these instructions. You must make your way to Welwick Wood, where resides the molted pair of Adelgoats that have but recently lost a kid. The pair has been driven mad with grief, and only death will put an end to their uncontrolled rampages. Linger in their territory until you encounter the beasts. Then let fly your arrows of mercy. As you liberate them from their sorrow, so too shall your soul resonate with the echoes of poignant melody. Alright, and where is this in the shroud? It is not in the shroud. Bard's Eye View is in Finland. Okay. Alright, the dragon. We're already in Southern Shroud, so just going south will get us to Finland. Let's go ahead and get this going. It's going to be an interesting one, I suppose. I guess they already left the chat as well, since they have not responded since. That's where I need to go. No. Oh well, I summoned my chocobo. Okay. Alright, destination. There we go. A very simple, very quick quest. All told. Right. And turn this way. And drop. Welcome back, Kiara. I can almost hear the cries of mourning that have seared themselves into your soul. That you remain unbowed by such anguish is a testament to your spirit's fortitude. Yet, even as your heart swells to contain these new experiences, you must not neglect your skill with the bow. A resilient heart must needs have a robust body in which to beat. Once you have trained both to equal strength, then shall I perform for you the Ballad of the Vainglorious Fool. Alright, we get Armis Perion. Alright, song gauge is expanded. In fact, I need to apply these. So actions. Honestly, putting these here is the best bet. There. Raj is changed to Resonant Arrow later, it seems. Okay. Okay, and there, this should be good. Alright. In fact, Ring of Death is what we get next, alright? Welcome back, Kiara. By your tranquil countenance, it is plain that both your body and soul are in readiness for the next stage of your journey. Very well. The time is ripe that I teach you the Ballad of the Vainglorious Fool. The song tells the tale of an archer of the god's quiver, whose peerless skill was surpassed only by his hubris. Alas, that hubris led to the annihilation of his entire regiment in the battle which has come to be known as the Massacre of Griffin Crossing. Standing guard in dead of night, an archer's weary of the sight. drunk on pride and starved with glory, forsook his post to claim victory. 10 yawns had the archer crept, when the shrieks rang out whence his comrades slept. For he was not there to see the knives, or to ring the bell and save his friends' lives. Tell me, Kiara, what lesson can be learned from this tale? But hold that thought. What your tongue claims to understand interests me not. As before, I'd sooner have you demonstrate the fruits of your learning with bow in hand. This time, however, you'll have the pleasure of my company. I would have you escort me to the Gilmora ruins in the North Shroud. It is there that some few fallen from the massacre of Griffin Crossing have been laid to rest. Pray, honor this place of remembrance with a bouquet of lilies. Heed me, O Kuzrin Tatai. Cast ye back the reins to the firmament, that we might gaze upon the battles of yore. Alright, now, North Shroud. If I recall, there's no direct path to North Shroud from here. You can go to Central Shroud or East Shroud. We'll go Central Shroud to North Shroud. Alright, that is noted and plugging it in. There we go. Unfortunately, they have likely left the chat after all. If I'm not mistaking them for someone else, and they were one of the people that were trying to get me to commission art. Alright, North Shroud is a little more west. Not the entrance, so it is. Alright, this should get us there. Alright, we are a bard. We also have a better bow that we could equip. I'd almost forgotten to. All right. Here's the destination. Oh, level sync. Interesting. Okay. The enemy van. cannot. Why do I still draw breath? What's up, Marco? It's not me asking that. That is a sin of the past. That a sin of the past would beget another. Forgive me, Kiara. This is going pretty well, I would say. Alright, and that is done. As you may have doubtless noticed, I am no longer capable of wielding a bow. I, whom they call the God's Bow. I had hoped that the years would take the edge off of the memories, but I hoped in vain. Absolution does not come so easily. Heed me well, Kiara, for I shall reveal all to you. The man sung of in the ballad of the vainglorious fool, whose hubris doomed an entire regiment. He and I are one and the same. Being no stranger to the bow, you will know that the archer's role in battle is that of support. His charge is to thin out the enemy line, so that his comrades might gain ground in the field of battle. By that most basic of criteria, I was unfit to hold a bow from the first. In my pride and lust for glory, I sent countless souls to a bloody grave. Good men and women, all who with loved ones and bright futures awaiting them. I lost the will to live that day, becoming an empty husk of a man tormented in sleep and wakefulness both by the memories of my crime. But the gods were not without mercy. They gifted me with song, that I might find a measure of solace in my wretched existence. A new melody resounds within you, I see. Though this outing was rather far departed from what I had in mind, it is still bore fruit, or that it still bore fruit gives me comfort. On that note, let us conclude the lesson. I dare say I have no cause to worry that you will repeat the selfsame mistakes as the vainglorious fool. Kiara, I would be alone for a while. Take yourself back to camp. I shall make my own way there presently. A new song, a new skill. Alright. This is North Shroud, and we need to go back to South Shroud. To do that, we will go to Central Shroud here. Alright. Oh. Alright, hunting log. For Archer, in fact. I didn't even realize I still had some of those left. Alright. And like I said, there will be no stream on, or scheduled stream on Wednesday or Thursday. I will update the schedule here after stream today. There may be a stream later on Thursday after I have recovered from the midnight release of Legends ZA, in which I will begin playing said game. If you want to have a say on which gender my character is in the game, go ahead and drop by my Discord and vote. Alright, I'm glad to see you safely returned. Though I rasp my voice hoarse through the saying of it, I cannot tell you enough times how much I regretted dragging you into such danger. And yet there is more I would ask of you. If you would do me the kindness of lending your ear, then pray speak now. Alright, we completed the quest, we got the new skill. This may be an AoE skill. Alright, let's go to actions and traits. Actions, the skill in question is Reign of Death. Oh, it shares a timer with Bloodletter. What does Bloodletter do exactly again? Okay. So let's replace Headgraze. Alright, this is the level 45 quest. We are close to the end of this. Will you listen to my request, though you know me for the vainglorious fool I am humbled. The boon I ask of you is simple. I would have you sing for me. Alright. A heartfelt performance, masterfully delivered. You have come far in such a short time, my young apprentice. Hearing your song this day, I am convinced that you are well on your way to surpassing me as a bard and archer both. Soon there will be naught left for me to impart to you. Kiara, you have proven yourself worthy of the consecrated garments worn by true bards of old to honor the keeper. I speak of the choral attire. The attire was entrusted to me when Ponko Poki and I first met, deep within the Twelveswood. The Moogle and I had traded scarce more than a handful of words when he proffered to me the attire along with the soul of the bard. At that time I knew not the true power of song, so I declined the gifts, but Poknopoki would not be denied. For all his good humor, the Moogle can be as unmoving as a rock. The attire chooses its wearer, not the other way around, he insisted, and I found myself yielding to his will. In mastering the verses of war, I won acclaim beyond my wildest dreams upon the field of battle, and for a time I was pleased. Alas, my lust for glory knew no bounds, the consequence of which you are already aware. It was in the wake of the massacre of Griffin Crossing. Stricken with guilt, I wanted not more than the earth to open up and swallow me whole. I had lost the will to live, but I was too craven to end it myself. And so I took to wandering aimlessly, in search of a place to die far away from the judging eyes of men. Disillusioned with the power of song, I committed an act of folly. I scattered the coral garment across the realm. If truly the attire chooses its wearer, I challenged, then let it find its way back to me. Determined that I would not be proven wrong, I went to great pains to ensure that the attire would never again see the light of day, and the pieces now rest in places of peril. Being the proud fool that I was, it never crossed my mind that mayhap another was meant to don it. I would entrust the coral attire to you, Kiara, but as you can see, you must needs brave the dangers to claim it. I shall mark its whereabouts on your map, but I can afford you no further aid beyond that. I am deeply sorry that my folly of years past has entailed its burden upon you, but Otyok works in mysterious ways. In his wisdom, it may be that he has sent this trial to test your spirit. I mean not for my sentiments to encumber you, but I am convinced that you are the one chosen by the choral attire. But pray, do not take it or that as license for complacency. Trials wouldn't be called such are if they fail to tax one's ability. Stay ever on your toes, Kiara. I would have you return whole of body and bearing the four parts of my surrendered raiment. I'm not gonna bother that one because he says basically the same thing each time. Alright. Oh, there's one here. And one there. Alright, so two of them are still in the 12-foot. Alright. This should be simple-ish enough. Now we need to go to East Shroud. So Central Shroud, East Shroud, and then we'll be able to get the next piece. Right, this one is the... Oh, this takes us directly to the East Shroud? Okay, yeah, that is better. Alright. Now we need to go this way. Straight line to the quest location. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the Black Mage questline as well. At least not at this time. It's just... Alright. With that, we need to figure out where next to go. Ah. It's going to be in Thanaland and La Noscea. So, to the Southern Shroud we go. Alright. So, we're going to go Southern Shroud, Thinaland, get the one there, then go to Vesper Bay to take the boat to Lanoska, and find the one in the Isles. Then we will return back to Gridania and head back to Southern Shroud to turn in the quest. Equipping each piece as we go, of course. I need to go down because it's a ground-based one, right? There we go. Here we are, the Southern Shroud. We need to get to Thinland. Thailand. Alright. This is easy enough to follow at this point, so we don't need the map. Let's move along and get to where we need to go. Additionally, Thinaland doesn't have any ground entrances we have to go through for this, I believe, depending on where it is. Thinaland, we need to go to, oh, it's in northern Thinaland. I believe that actually is one that has a, of course it is. So let's go ahead and get that piece first. Then we're going to the island nation. The land of pirates. All that good stuff. Let's go Masar. The only entrance further is this way, okay. We gotta go south from here, not north. There was no additional path. I was having directional issues. Okay. Hey, we didn't have to land. It's somewhere here. There it is. Okay. This way. Past that one that I need to still do. Alright. We have this one, which are the boots for it. Alright. We have the entire set laid out before us. Or do we? As with every one of these armor gathering quests, the last piece, the chest piece, is not immediately available for us. But it will be ours soon enough. And in the meantime, we're going to be finishing this quest today. I'll be editing it down and everything to remove the starting soon. Well, not starting soon really, but the BRB screen. That's what I was intending to say, and then I had a yawn come in. Now, from Western Athanaland, we'll be able to get to Vesper Bay on that map, and from there we'll be able to take a ferry to Lanoska. Specifically to the city they're in. Which is Limsa-Lanoska. Limsa-Lominsa. All right. $80 gold. Now, I do know that people are probably a bit annoyed that there's not so much action here. Okay, Aleport, so that's Western Lanoska, so we need to go to Central. And to that note, I will be ending with one dungeon raid. With our newly acquired job at the end of this. To show you how it functions in a party, more or less. And basically to get a feel for it myself, really. Hopefully, we can also get some decent equipment from it. Or at the very least get to a level where I can use this job to farm for decent equipment for my healers. I will still stream this on next Saturday. And fingers crossed that by then I'll have been able to gather enough equipment to make one of my other classes able to take on the dungeon that's needed. It hasn't really been a problem recently, but now that it is, I need to catch up other classes and other jobs to the level where they are able to take on these dungeons and get this equipment. Alright. Still straight ahead-ish. And there it is. And as you can see, I was pretty accurate on my timing for when this needed, or when I would be reaching level 50. And here we are, the last raid sack. Now, oh no, not character. Actually, yeah, let's go to character. We need to equip that. The pants, the tights. What we need to do is go into general, not that. Teleport back to New Gardania with return. And Ethernet, Central Shroud, all right. We're getting closer to finishing the Bard quests. Alright, here we go. South Shroud, right ahead. Being carried around like the dejected cat. So, you have returned. Sound of body and mind, I trust, and you bear the 4 parts of the choral attire. I knew you from the true, or I knew you for the true owner of these garments ere I heard your song. Since the day we met, your determination has reminded me of much that I have lost, and would have again. I have at last settled my heart on a matter that has plagued me for some decades. When my preparations are complete, you shall know my decision. Until then, may your song lift the spirits of your allies, and your arrows seek the hearts of your foes. Now then, what we get from this is the choral shirt, and then the bard's attire, coffer, and the ability battle voice. Let's accept this. You have done well, my young apprentice. In returning with the choral attire, you have reaffirmed my faith in you. I see no further reason to withhold from you the existence of the final piece of the set, the piece that has brought us together. Listen well, Kiara. When I put down my bow, I vowed never again to set foot in the Twelveswood. That I now forsake my oath is for no other reason than to impart my knowledge to one who would succeed me. Lest to wonder why I should deem that so important, permit me to relate to you an event which brought about a great change in me. My most recent journey had taken me to Ul'dah, where I found myself ambling through the marketplace early one morn. Browsing. Blah. Words are weird. Browsing the wares on display, mine eyes were met with a relic from my past, a piece from the choral attire that I had discarded decades before, countless realms away. I felt at once that it was not mere chance that had reunited me with it, and put forth the coin with nary a pause. Holding the garment in my hands, I resolved to find a worthy heir to my legacy. Alas, no sooner had I arrived in the Twelveswood than I found myself mobbed by archers seeking to hone their skills. Amongst those who came, not one showed the least interest in poetry and verse. Sorely discouraged and regretting my decision, I made to strike camp and leave the Twelveswood once more, never to return. It was then that you appeared, young one. When you expressed a desire to learn song, I could scarcely contain my joy. Looking back, I am fully convinced that our meeting had been preordained. Your coming has instilled me with the courage to attend to that matter of which I spoke earlier. I am ready to make a pilgrimage to the scene of my regiment's demise. Ever since that fateful day, I have been haunted by visions of my fallen comrades, torment graven upon their bloodied faces. Lost to hope, but too craven to end my own life, I wandered the land aimlessly, seeking a place to die, but the heavens denied me even that. Yet, just when it seemed that despair would draw me wholly into its black abyss, never to emerge again, a melody resounded within me. It was then that I awakened to the power of song and found new purpose in life. I embarked upon a journey to master such verses as would bestow peace upon the fallen, that I might lay the tormented souls of my comrades to rest. It has taken long years, but now I believe I can offer a requiem worthy of my comrades. To do so, however, I require one last favor from you, Kiara. I would have you escort me to the west of the observatorium in the Corthus Highland, or Central Highlands. It is there that we shall find the scene of my regiment's demise. Your presence kindles within me a courage I had thought lost. I would have none other by my side as I undertake this pilgrimage, now as I enter the most daunting stage of my life. Once you arrive, I ask you to pay your respects with another bouquet of Nimarian lilies. When my requiem is sung, you shall have the final piece of the pictorial attire. Alright. Corthus Central Highlands. An interesting place indeed. As we continue on. This way. This should be the right orientation to get me there. Yep, should be. Okay. Alright, here we go. Northern Shroud. Wait. This was to Gridania. I need to go to North Shroud, not Gridania. All right. Now, Corthus Central Highlands is right this way. Soon we will be the Bard in full, both in attire, ability, observatorium is, it's right there. I see. That is the location we are headed to. Alright, level sync. In Excel. More Excel. We seem to be surrounded. We are surrounded, and our foes seem disinclined to listen to parley. We must survive this, Kiara. My soul is overburdened with the deaths of too many dear companions. All right, and to battle. Bloodwing, random guy. Oh, there's more. Okay. And it's defeated. Was that the last wave? Yes, it was. Okay, excellent. Kiara, without you, I would not be standing here this day. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, my friends. I have kept you waiting over long. The Keeper be praised. I can wield a bow once more. It was you, young one, who helped me remember how. I had known for some time, but your presence is as a salve for the wounds of my soul. Your coming has delivered me from the nightmares of my past. My worthy successor, to you I entrust the final piece of the choral attire. Don it and go forth to fill the hearts of men with courage and purpose. Though the seasons may turn, bending a man's back and dimming his eyes, as long as there is life, there is reason to hope. Thank you, Kiara, for showing me the truth of this. With the blood of my comrades upon my hands, to simply draw breath wrecked me with such guilt as I could not bear it. But the time for mourning is past. I shall take up the bow once more, and lend what aid I can to the god's quiver. In fighting for those who yet live, I do my fallen comrades the greatest honor. Yet another melody resounds within you. I see. Then there is not more I can impart to you. As equals, let us together give praise to life and all the joy that it brings. Alright, I am once more am not going to attempt that. Alright. Another melody within you. Thank you again, Kiara. You have blessed this old fool with the gentle touch of salvation. Eorzea awaits. Go forth and inspire endless hope and courage with the beauty of your songs. May we one day meet again. Ah, right. It's going to cut into this. Battle voice. This concludes that. And the Toral set. An interesting attire overall. Now, actions and traits. General, we are returned to New Gridania. Emotes. They did say something of a new emote. Didn't they? I thought they did. Alright, let's take a look at our armory chest. Sort that. I need to sell a lot of bows, but that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking to see if there is room enough There is. Alright. What we are going to do is go to our inventory and open the Bard's Attire. And the Bard's Attire is a lighter color, more pastel than previous. Now, there is one more thing I wanted to check. Ethernet to the Archers Guild. Just a real quick check. It does not seem that there are any quests for a mount here. And this was the Bard quests. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And if you did, make sure to drop a follow here on Twitch. Hit the bell for notifications. check out my Discord to know when I go live, even outside of my regular streams. And if you're watching this as VOD on YouTube, the Discord thing still stands, but go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Hit the like button and comment down below what you thought of today's video. And if you enjoyed my content, feel free to check out my channel here in the middle. If there's too much there and you don't know where to start, over here on the right is a playlist of me playing an entirely different game. If my stuff wasn't for you, but you stuck around anyway, thanks a ton, and over here on the left is a video YouTube thinks you will like. Have a good one, stay safe, enjoy, and have a wonderful time, whatever you're up to, whenever you're up to it, wherever you're up to it, however you're up to it, wherever you're up to it, whoever you're up to it with, and whenever you're up to it. Stay safe, and if you have a pet, give them scritches, unless they're a type of pet that doesn't like scritches. I'm pretty sure